What's up, Algebra 2 students? This is lesson 41. Your objective is how do you convert units of measure? How do you convert units of measure? Well, first of all, we need to just do a little bit of recall. Remember whenever we multiply units, say like feet times feet, we end up with feet squared, or inches squared times inches, we end up with inches cubed. If we divide them like centimeters cubed over centimeters squared, we end up with something like just centimeters, right? 3 minus 2 is 1. So just recall that. Also remember that any number divided by itself is 1. So like 17 over 17 is just 1. Feet over feet is 1. 3.14159 over 3.14159 is equal to 1. And 7 feet squared divided by 7 feet squared is also just equal to 1. And then we can also recall that any number times 1 is just itself. It doesn't change value. So like 4 times 1 is still 4. 14 pi times 1 is still 14 pi. X squared yz cubed times 1 is still x squared y z cubed, etc., etc. Okay? So if you can remember this, the rest of the lesson should come semi-easily. Alright, so this is example 41.1. How many feet is 600 inches? Well, first of all, we need to think about something. We need to somehow relate inches to feet. And to do that, remember that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Now notice that I used an equal sign because 12 inches is the same as 1 foot. Since these two are equal to each other, I can write them as a fraction and equal to 1. Meaning I could say 12 inches over 1 foot. Since those are equal, it would be like saying 1 over 1 or 2 over 2, it's just equal to 1. Or if I wanted to, I could say 1 foot over 12 inches. That's also equal to simply 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this 600 inches, if we want to, we can just say it's over 1, by something that will convert my inches into feet. So I want my answer, the number on top, to be in feet. And I want the number on the bottom to be in inches, so that way my inches will reduce. So I'm going to pick this one right here, because my feet are on top and my inches are on the bottom. So I'm going to multiply it by 1 foot over 12 inches. And again, this is just like a big number 1, so I'm not going to change its value. Whatever it comes out to be is going to be the same as 600 inches. So this is going to be, well, my inches will reduce, and then 12 goes into 650 times, and I'll admit I just checked that on a calculator. So then I have 50 times 1 times 1 times feet, 50 feet, divided by 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is just 1. So my answer would be 50 feet. Alright, we'll do the same idea here. It says how many square inches is 44 feet squared. So we're going to write 44 feet squared. 44 feet squared. We're going to just write this over 1. And now we're trying to convert this into inches. So I'm going to use this other one that we used. I'm going to say 12 inches over 1 foot. But notice I have 2 feet squared up here, right? Or I have feet times feet, which gives me feet squared. So multiplying it by just one of them would not reduce, well, it would reduce one of them, but not get it all the way gone. So I'm going to need to multiply it again by that same thing, 12 inches over 1 foot. Now whenever I reduce, there's 2 feet up there and there's 2 down there. And then all I need to multiply is this 44 times 12 times 12 is, so 44 times 12 times 12 inches times inches gives me inches squared, which is what I'm wanting. So just to multiply those, and you get 6,336 inches squared. So that's how many square inches are in 44 square feet. Okay, This is the same idea except we're going to do two different conversions. Here it says how many square inches are in 42 yards squared. So if we go with that 42 yards squared, I need to multiply by something with yards on the bottom. And I know that there's 3 feet in 1 yard. So I'm going to multiply that twice, 3 feet times 1 yard. That would get rid of my yards and convert it into square feet, but I don't want it in square feet, I want it in inches. So I'm going to multiply this by 1 foot, 12 inches. I get rid of one of my feet, but I need to get rid of both of them, so 1 foot by 12 inches. Now we go through and reduce. My 2 yards down here will reduce with my 2 yards up there. My feet will reduce here, and here, and here. And I will end up with 42 times 3 times 3 times 12 times 12 inches squared. And that will come out to be 54,432 inches squared. Your homework is down here, like I'm sure you've already seen, page 182. You're going to do the practice A, B, and C. You're going to do 6 through 8, so 6, 7, and 8, and then 9 more of your choice. Good luck. I know you're going to do awesome.